Lam Research, a critical player in the semiconductor equipment space, just reported earnings, and they share some interesting insight that all AI stock investors should know. Let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
Right. So first, let's start off with price action. Lam Research was down roughly 2.6% for the day, and after hours, the stock is pretty much flat after reporting earnings. Now, throughout this episode, we're going to look at growth opportunities. We're going to look at risk. We're going to look at things that both NVIDIA and AI stock investors should know about what management said and the overall ecosystem. Now, we are at the beginning of earnings, and earnings is something I want to cover a lot. I want to bring a lot of great value to you for free, but I want to know what you guys want to look at. So today I already covered Tesla. I already covered Lam Research with this episode. Yesterday we looked at Texas Instrument. We looked at Galaxy Digital. Now for today, let me know if you guys want me to do Vertiv, QuantumScape, IBM, and which one, or if I missed some others. Let me know in the comments below which one you guys want me to do first, second, and third. Thursday, after the market closes, we do have Intel, and that's one I'm going to most likely either do a live stream and or a video after hours. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Now, Lam Research is a crucial player in the semiconductor equipment space. And one thing that's happening is the semiconductor equipment industry is turning around. It's usually very cyclical, right? And we saw in the last cycle, which lasted until December of 2022, peak revenue was $5.3 billion. Now, if we see this quarter, September 25th, revenue surpassed that. So this is a record quarterly revenue for Lam Research, and that could be seen very bullish. And at the end of this episode, I'm actually going to discuss if I'm willing to purchase this stock or not. Now, customer support and other revenue, this is pretty much kind of a service business that's typically high margins, and as they get more sales and more equipments go in, total install base continues to grow, they're going to get more revenue from fixing machines, from the maintenance of machines, and from subscriptions coming in from reusable goods. And this is $1.7 billion here of revenue, which is extremely strong. Now, during the earnings, they shared a lot of great insight about not just their business, but the overall market. So in the equipment space, they mentioned that calendar year of 2025, wafer fabrication equipment spending is slightly higher than $105 billion prior forecast due to strong HBM investment. So this is very bullish for equipment players, especially those that deal with the memory industry, that deal with things like advanced packaging. And if you've been watching this channel in prior videos, we talked about how Lam Research is critical for the HBM market and the memory market. Now, what's great is for calendar year of 2026, wafer fabrication equipment spending is expected to see a step up driven by AI related demand. And this is across all three device segments in calendar year of 2026. And all over the world. Now we are going to see some of the headwinds and tailwinds impacting the overall stock. The other thing that's happening is they mentioned that AI growth is creating billions of dollars of opportunity. For every $100 billion in incremental AI data center investment, it increases about $8 billion in wafer fabrication spending. So in theory, in the upcoming years, we are expected to see more and more growth in the data center spending market. And in theory, that should be very bullish for wafer fabrication equipment, which means really good for a lot of the semiconductor equipment players. Now, the other thing that they see is this slide right here, that the NAND market is expected to have roughly a $40 billion conversion spending projected over the next several years. And because Lam Research has a huge install base in this market, it's going to allow them for various growth opportunities. Now, things like solid state drives, which is definitely seeing vast growth opportunities right now with AI, is one of the markets that they're seeing this growth here in NAND. Now, I have this pretty cool slide for you. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, I want to talk about the risk first. And there's kind of three risks that Lam Research kind of discusses. First is export restrictions, second is margin pressure, and third was China revenue shift. So in export restriction, there is a new 50% affiliate rule is restricting shipments to certain domestic China customers. And for this upcoming quarter, they believe revenue is going to be impacted by about $200 million. And for the full fiscal calendar year of 2026, they actually expect it to be about $600 million. So that is definitely creating some form of short and long-term pressure. Now, gross margin pressure. Management expects gross margins to decline sequentially, driven by two key factors. First, unfavorable customer mix, and the second thing is ongoing tariffs. In the guidance for the upcoming quarter of the December quarter, they do expect about a 210 basis point decline due to these gross margin pressures. And the third thing is revenue from China is expected to decline as a percentage of total revenue. This could be seen as both bullish and bearish, right? You don't want that exposure to ever be so high. So it's great to kind of continue to see this go down in calendar year of 2026. They see somewhere around 30% or less. However, management expects that this decline to be offset by stronger spending from global multinationals. So all around the world, we are spending more in equipment for semiconductor manufacturing. So those were the two major risks impacting the overall stock. Now, I want to talk about two growth opportunities. And the first opportunity is something we saw in a slide, but AI-driven wafer fabrication expansion. Lam quantifies a massive multiplier effect from AI data center build-out. Now, if Sam Altman gets his way with all these massive investments, that's going to increase dramatically the amount of wafer fabrication equipment spending. So that's very bullish as this creates billions of dollars in served available markets, expansion, and share gain opportunity for Lam Research. Now, before we go any further, if this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. The goal is to hit 85,000 subs by the end of this year. We just hit 80,000 today. I want to say thank you. Now, if you have a need for a free AI chip semiconductor newsletter, check out whatthechip.happened.com. Now, I do have special offers at fool.com/Jose, at fiscal.ai/Jose for 15% off to the charts that I showed earlier on. I have an amazing intro offer at mumu.com and some other ones in the pinned comments below. Now, in forms of core tech advantage in AI, CEO mentions that AI devices require more of Lam's core product. And the main reason is deposition and etch, which is Lam's core differentiation and plays a critical role. This process are essential for higher performance, more scalable devices required for AI. So it definitely helps with the new AI era and kind of improving the sizes, improving the advanced packaging. So that's a huge opportunity for them. The second opportunity, like I mentioned, is that NAND market. So that's a $40 billion upgrade cycle and it's sustainable through it's substantial through multi-year conversion cycle for NAND accelerating. So that's another aspect where this is a market that's still a bit slow right now, but if that picks up, there's various tailwinds impacting the overall stock. Now, for NVIDIA investors, if you are an NVIDIA investor, one thing you should know. Lam's equipment is critical for enabling next generation AI accelerators like GPUs, and more crucial for HBM that powers them. AI data centers require advanced CPUs, GPUs, and low latency HBM. Investments in HBM continue to remain strong, driven by AI, and Lam's tools and conductor edge are used to enable higher stacking of HBM devices, a key bottleneck for AI performance. So this is one that can definitely benefit from the HBM market. Now, for AI research, like I mentioned, the 8% conversion rate. So for every $100 billion in data center, it creates $8 billion in the wafer fabrication equipment spending, which creates a powerful visible multiplier effect. This is things AI investors should be excited about. Now, I do believe Lam Research had really strong earnings. I like them a lot, and I believe there's a lot of growth opportunities. But why did the market not like it? Or why is the market not reacting as strongly? In my opinion, it's this. This is definitely a stock that is trading much higher than it normally does. So the median forward PE ratio in about the past 5 years is roughly 20.35. Now, right now, the stock is trading at roughly 31.52. If I was honest, Lam Research has definitely growth opportunities, but I think the risk to reward ratio is not in my favor. So if I wanted to add to Lam Research, this is not the time I would do so. If it was, it would be very, very, very small dollar cost average. But I do believe the stock in forms of risk to reward ratio is not in my favor. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and it did give a lot of great insight about the semiconductor, AI, and kind of data center market and how it can help translate to bullish cases for other companies out there. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.